Alright. Hello everyone, and welcome to Sonic Heroes. We're going to be doing Team Sonic today, so we're just going to go ahead and start right now. So, on the count of 3, 2, 1, go.
Let's blast through with Sonic speed! Okay! Alright!
So, for those who aren't very familiar with Sonic Heroes, it's a team-based game where we're going to be swapping between 3 different characters. For Team Sonic, it's just going to be Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles. Each character has their own properties. Sonic is your speed character, Tails is your flight character, and Knuckles is your power character. So Sonic just do kicks here, and the ability right here called Rocket Excels. Just get a huge boost of speed, and ability right there with kicks just kind of help propel your momentum. You're seeing right here with Knuckles, we're just going to use an orbiting ability to kind of send our characters flying around him, just to break rocks. That's a pretty fast way of just breaking all obstacles in your way. So right here, just going to be using Tails just to kind of fly up.
Some of the submerged sea room.
So right here, just try to jump with that rock excel there and just get up to those moving platforms. And this is our first section with the trolley. It's kind of an auto-scroller. You're just kind of holding forward and kind of making turns, or kind of making adjustments with your turns as the course loops through. So just kind of bounce up this wall. Kind of gives us enough height there for Seaside right there, that little section there. So just kind of, as you can see here, I am playing on the GameCube version. This and the Xbox version are kind of the preferred ways of playing Sonic Heroes. There is a PC version, but it's kind of different. Competition's kind of set up differently there. Because of the, it's kind of hard to explain, but the PC build, which came out later, it kind of uses an old build of the game. It has kind of has a few weird properties, so we just kind of separate competition. But GameCube is kind of the best version to be running. Xbox is good. Has very little problems, but PlayStation 2 you do not want to touch with the 10-foot pole, because that game caps at 30 frames per second, and you just got a lot of odd visual glitches and all that kind of crap. So we're kind of coming up to the end of Seaside Hill here. I'm just going to kind of touch on the mechanics throughout the run, because there's just a lot to talk about here. Right there, I just kind of propelled my momentum by swapping to Tails.
Yes!
And just kind of went up the hole there. That's normally meant for just like a few little bonuses, I think. Like, there's like a 1-up.
Shoot!
I haven't really paid attention to what I get from that. But 2:47 is pretty average time to get on Seaside Hill there. So, coming up is Ocean Palace, and we're going to be seeing the first instance of a bot boost, which is a pretty broken trick in this game. And this one particular, I'm going to try and go for an even harder version of bot boosting, where you try to get essentially a double bot boost in a way. But I'll kind of explain what that trick is when we come to it. So there are a lot of boulders and doors here. You just gotta break down with Knuckles in this stage. There's not a whole lot going on in this stage, aside from what's gonna be coming up. Ooh, okay. I did not get enough height off that fan there. But sometimes here you'll... that's a little silly. You might see me swapped... Whoa, okay. Well, I haven't had that happen in a while. But yeah, this game is kind of finicky with walls and stuff, where you'll just kind of bounce around a lot. But stuff like that will happen. Just kind of weird that this game has some really wonky collision, as you can see right there. Just kind of bounce off that wall. So right there, it's an instance of a kick, and well, actually, a lot just kind of happened there. But let's talk about that glide. It kind of light speed dash and then transition to Knuckles and got glide there. It's pretty tricky, but yeah. Right here is going to be the bot boost. I'm going to try and explain after I get it. Okay, I didn't get the extended bot boost, but I just got the normal bot boost. So what happened there is, in flight formation, I dropped down onto the egg pond there and tried to knock Sonic out of the formation on the same frame that Knuckles lands back on the ground. And what happens is the game kind of gets a little confused as to where Sonic should be. So if you put yourself in front of a wall and try to start a flight, the game just kind of whacks out and just sends you across the stage. What I was hoping to do was, in the middle of that bob boost, if I had timed my flight correctly, I would have basically dropped down behind another boulder and would have gotten a second bot boost, essentially. Would have gotten a little bit farther than I would have been at, but hey. We're going to be seeing that a couple more times throughout this run. There's one in particular that's brutally difficult halfway through the run, but we'll get to that.
Barely made it.
And yes, I'm quite the madman for going for that strat. I think some of the Heroes runners in chat will know what I'm talking about. Alright, so this is our first boss, and this is Eggcock. Normally you're supposed to go and chase down Eggcock, and it's just kind of an endlessly looping stage. But we're just going to kind of break the intention here, at least what the developers intended for us to do. We're just going to go backwards, get this invincibility box, which is very important. I kind of messed that up. I need to be a certain distance away from Eggcock here. And we're just basically going to have him settle down right here. This little center piece here. We're just going to constantly do fire dunks with Knuckles. Not exactly a great Eggcock fight, but it's acceptable. So, all right, so we're going on to Grand Metropolis. A lot to talk about in this stage. This is basically the first stage where we're going to be worrying about level ups. So level up system works is you have 3 different cores, one for Sonic, one for Tails, one for Knuckles. Each level up will give you certain abilities, mainly like, oh, you get to destroy enemies with one hit, because enemies have health in this game, which is the first for the Sonic game, but at least back in the day. But in this case, we want level 3 Sonic and a level 1 Tails. Level 1 Sonic, or level 1 Tails will actually get us the Stunner Robot without Sonic having invincibility frames, which is important for setting up a short bot boost partway through the stage. And for level 3 Sonic, it adds wind physics, which basically lets you latch onto poles instantly without having to do the Blue Tornado ability, which is a pretty slow attack to use. Just wastes a lot of time just going for that. So hopefully here I will get a level 1 Tails at some point. There's a good chance I might accidentally destroy some robots and might screw up my level count. Because every 5 robots you get, you'll get a power core that's not the character that you destroyed it with. Right there, I tried to go for a door clip with Knuckles, which is a little finicky. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's just depends on what day of the week it is. Knuckles just decides, it's a Saturday, I don't feel like clipping through that door. But in all seriousness, that's a kind of a precise clip. So right here, I don't have a level 1 Tails, but I can just kind of stun this robot with Flight. And unfortunately, I kind of messed that up by getting hit by the robot, so I'm just going to have to kind of do this normally. So normally this bot boost would take me right around here, which saves somewhere around, I think around 8 seconds. So yeah, but this is the effect that you get with a level 3 Sonic. It's just instant latching its pulls. So yeah, and we are on to our first grind section. You might notice that I will be quickly swapping between Sonic and Knuckles. This doesn't make me go faster, but it gets me to my top speed, like, almost instantaneously. So you'll be seeing me do that when I'm on rails. Using about 2 to 3 swaps is usually enough to get me to top speed, but I tend to get really spam happy with that. And that's pretty much Grand Metropolis in a nutshell. Not great by any standard, but hey, whatever. This is honestly my least favorite stage out of all of them in this game, so.
Barely made it.
Alright. Remember, everyone, stay hydrated. Alright, so we're coming up on Power Plant, and this is another level where I had to worry about level ups. Mainly on Tails. I need to get a level 2 Tails before I enter the elevator section, partway through the stage. It's level 2 Tails basically destroys enemies in one hit, so it's basically what I'm on the lookout for. But I have 2 spots that I can go and get 2 level up cores pretty quickly. If I were wanting to be risky, I could rely on a robot to drop it, but I can't always rely on that, so always gotta be safe. So this is the first one. Here, it's not really in the way. Also, right here, what happened there is I basically started a flight, drop down, and basically once Tails drops down and touches the ground, and if you start flight the moment you touch down, you'll basically get a boost up in the air without having to use your flight meter, and you just basically start up another flight. So kind of skip that little section there. Alright, so we're coming up on the first elevator section, and this is the main reason why we needed Tails. Just kind of have to wait here, and we'll have a little section here where we'll have robots, and it won't let you proceed without defeating all of them, and just using Thundershoot there just kind of kills them all out just instantaneously, so that's what we have to deal with. Also, I'm going to try and do that. I had it there for a second. Just going to try and do a flight boost there off the ground. It's pretty easy to do it on the elevator. The first elevator is a little bit trickier to deal with because the elevator is actually moving at a faster speed. But I kind of choked it right there. So. And we got fireballs now. Alright, I was hoping to get a little bit of a momentum boost there and just kind of jump off, and you can just kind of clear that little section there, but kind of messed up the timing there. I'm gonna try it again here. There we go. That's what I wanted to do. Alright, so I just did a light speed dash into a glide, which is pretty useful on several sections. You saw me do that in Ocean Palace. The one in Ocean Palace is probably one of the hardest ones, and I was kind of glad I got that one. I like to usually refer to that to the Deku strat. It's great runner, Deku SR. He had world record for quite a long time. Recently, Sid had bopped it because of new strats in Bullet Station, but that's a strat he contributed, and it's still pretty sick if you pull it off. And Lemris did just mention the Lost Jungle one. That is a pretty difficult one as well. Alright. Okay, if you can get a kick there in that globe, you can kind of skip that little section, but it's a little precise. I've never actually gotten it, so we're now in everyone's favorite little section here, the lava section, but, you know, it's actually pretty easy, just flight. You just kind of gotta know where you gotta go. So you just kind of hop off here and just go round and round, but you can just kind of cut off there. Most people don't know you can just keep holding that pulley, just kind of ride all the way up. I never actually knew that until I started playing this game. So, alright, that's Power Plant.
Not too shabby.
So coming up is our first team battle. I'm gonna try and manipulate the AI to do some funny stuff most of the time in team battles, but this one you just have to kind of thunder shoot at the right time, just kind of knock off all the opposing team. In this case, Team Rose. But I tend to screw up this timing a lot.
This time you're mine.
Hopefully I get this right.
There's no time to play.
Everybody, get out of the way.
Are you playing with that girl's
Okay.
heart again?
Not a
Sonic?
perfect Team Rose fight, but that worked. Alright, so we got some crazy shenanigans going on in this next zone
But we're in a hurry.
with Casino Park and Bingo Highway. Kind of a lot to go over, so I just thought I'd go ahead and talk about this. In casinos, if you're on the casino table, you can swap between. You can go to each of your character's positions depending on where they are in the on the table. Just keep that in mind for this next trick, because
Boy, Amy sure doesn't give up.
I'm gonna be doing
What is this
a
place?
few things called pinball launches.
Is bright here. We got some time. Feeling lucky?
Sonic, we
So
only
this
got
first one is going to be right at the start of the stage. I'm going to be dropping my characters off into the void, and I'm going to try and call them back while punching the pinball table with Knuckles.
Pretty cool.
Leave it to
And it basically sends Tails way, way up in the air, because when Knuckles calls him back, Tails tries to go back to him at a very high speed, but since Knuckles is on the pinball table, Tails just goes way past him, and you can just kind of jump to Tails' position. So, I'm going to see that again here. I'm going to try and go for this. That was kind of a bad position for that robot. I could have gone for a little short bot boost that I could have canceled and take me to the little end of this section here, but that's kind of a small bot, a little bit of a risky thing to do in a marathon. So I'm going to try and set up another pinball launch here. Didn't get it first try. Let's try this again. Has a bit of a specific timing with this one. There we go. Skip another pinball table here.
Here we go.
And this is the only pinball table we had to do in full. And there we go. We're pretty much at the end of the stage here. Now we have to do a quick laser clip into the VIP section.
Seem like we can go up.
Sometimes, sometimes your characters can get knocked out and you can't call them back until they get back from their vulnerability. So I'm just gonna drop down into the goal ring here because thankfully there are no kill planes. Alright, so we're going on to kind of a complicated skip.
That was tight.
To kind of explain, but it kind of uses the same physics with it's almost the same concept as what's going on in Casino Park with pinball launches. However, we're going to be kind of moving our characters' positions out of bounds to kind of get us to the end of the goal, or the end of the stage. I cannot speak today, but I'm just going to start off here. We're just on a pinball table. All that crap. You can do a door clip here, but I'm too much of a wuss. I don't like going for it. It's half the time I just slam my face into the door. Alright, so it is very important for me to make sure I have all my characters with me, or else this skip would just be really annoying to set up. So I'm just going to drop off my characters here. Be a little careful there. Turn Knuckles at a specific point, and then I'm going to jump onto the pinball table in a specific way. I'm going to be holding up for a specific amount of time, and letting go at certain points, because basically I'm moving. You might have noticed that I never respawn tails onto the surface. He's basically out of bounds, being stored at a specific position, but since I am holding up at certain points, it's kind of moving Tails' position, and I'm just kind of manipulating where he is. I'm gonna punch the pinball table there, and I'm gonna warp to where Tails is. And we're just gonna kind of gently float down to the end of the stage here. So this takes about 30 seconds to get down to a position where I can see the end of the stage. The way I can tell where I need to be going is I kind of turn the camera and line up with a certain point in the background. I have a few visual cues to work off of. Right here, I'm just trying to see where I am at the end of the stage. And now we are in Ariel Bingo. Try to get a bingo here. It's not a marathon run without doing an Ariel Bingo. But yeah, that's Bingo Highway. There's a bit more to that skip than what I tried explaining, but
That was tight.
just know it's kind of a weird skip to learn if you're ever interested in this game. Alright, so coming up we have the first robot fight, and here I'm going to try and go for... Hey, I got the cutscene skip. Okay, so what happened there is there's a certain point where you can just start a tornado there, and basically the cutscene models get messed up because the real-time models are there as well. So you're just gonna try and destroy these robots. It's always a set. It's always gonna be the same set of robots each round, essentially. So here I'm looking for a level 2 Tails, which I got, and now I'm going to look for a hope for a level 2 Knuckles, which seems like I'm going to get good luck here. You'll see how broken Knuckles is very shortly. Level 2 Knuckles basically adds a finisher to his combo, and
Come and get some.
basically destroys everything. But there's not a whole lot to this boss fight. So yeah, we just kind of killed all robots in the vicinity.
Too cool.
It's just really stupid.
Too cool.
You might have noticed that I kind of moved around there. There was a gold turtle that's would be immune to Knuckles' abilities, but if you move at a specific point, you can basically kind of lift up the robot and make him vulnerable.
Keep 'em coming.
I'm just warming up.
And that's pretty much Robot Carnival. We've got another one of these fights later on towards the end of the run, but that one can be a bit tricky to deal with, but
All right.
we'll get to that when we get to it.
What a waste.
Alright, now we're into some really interesting stages here. We'll be seeing a bot boost coming up. I'm going to try and go for the more difficult bot boosts. There's two I could go for. One saves about 10 more seconds than the other. But if I mess up the first one, I'm just going to go for the slightly easier one.
Tails, how much time's left?
So this one
Tails, Knuckles.
is going to be the return of grinding.
Speed ahead. Got it.
And you're going to be seeing a good chunk of it in this stage.
To accelerate and control stick to balance.
Oh, that's kind of a weird camera angle. Usually don't get that. Alright, so right here I'm going to try and get a level 1. I'm going to get a level 1 Tails at the checkpoint. And I'm going to try and lure this robot over here.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
It's a very specific bot boost. I have to... I don't think I've got... No, that's not going to make it. Okay. I'm just going to have to go for the other one now.
To accelerate and control stick to balance.
It's faster to just reset... Oh. I don't know what's up with the camera there. It's kind of weird.
To accelerate and control stick to balance.
But we're going to try to go for a different one. Doesn't save all that much time, but I don't have to... I'm way more consistent at this one. Just going to use this robot. So, fun fact, this is the only bot boost in the game that can be done by all teams. All the different... Oh, okay. That was a bit weird. Accidentally got called back there. That happens sometimes if I accidentally let go of the A button. This is usually not a difficult bot boost, but this robot's giving me a little bit of trouble. So yeah, this basically skips a third of the stage right here. The other one would have taken me a little bit farther down this section of rail. But yeah, we got a much harder bot boost coming up on the next stage. I'm definitely going to try and go for it a couple of times, but if I don't get it, I'm just going to have to go through the stage normally. So right here, you might notice I'm not really spamming between Sonic and Knuckles. That's mostly because I'm already at top speed. It'd be unnecessary to do that. Sometimes I like to do it in turns because I can lose a little bit of speed if I don't properly angle my control stick at specific points. Normally I would have liked to get on top of that train, but you had to have vulnerability frames from Knuckles, and that was kind of annoying the way I was set up. So yeah, I'm already at top speed, and I am way ahead of the trains there, so I'm just gonna jump off this rail here and get up to this top section. And that gives you enough, just kind of clear that little section without having to jump. And we're pretty much at the end of the stage here. Alright, so this bot boost coming up, which I hope I get, it's not guaranteed, it's very difficult and very precise to try and get. For the record, this bot boost has never been shown off in a marathon, I believe. I could be wrong, but this is a... Whoo boy. Normally this is around close to a 4-minute stage, but we can cut it down to about a minute if I can set this up properly. So this bot boost was found back before SGQ by Lemris, who's in chat right now. So I'm going to kind of set this robot, kind of push this robot, you know, wait. Okay, I think he's on the outside here.
Let's go.
And, nope, okay. I had a feeling that wasn't going to go through. So, basically, I had to rely on that robot being pushed far enough, and I had to get enough speed from bot boost. Then I had to start a flight within, like, a window of 4 frames, something around that. So I'm going to try this again. I don't think that's good enough.
Let's go.
Dang it. I'm going to give this about 2 more tries, then I'm just going to have to go through the stage normally.
We're heading in the right direction.
But we do at least get to showcase that... Whoa! What was that? That's new to me. Okay. That's that was a very interesting setup. I had to make sure I don't wake up this robot too early, and I also need to make sure I don't kill it. Which, okay.
I guess we're heading in the right direction.
So I'm just gonna give this one more try. If I don't get it, it's too bad. But hey, be a little careful here. So okay, this is a good position. Oh, that was bad. Okay. Yeah, that was my last life. I need to just continue on. Too bad. This would be, it's kind of, that's kind of sad, but hey, whatever. It's a marathon run. It's, yeah, it's just a ridiculously hard skip to deal with. Most runs just come here to die anyways, so my PB has it first try, but yeah, I was trying to do it like I was setting up for the skip again. Muscle memory is really trying to fight me here, but we're just gonna kind of see the stage in whole. If I had gotten that bot boost, it would have taken me pretty much to the end of the stage. I really wanted to swap the tails there, but okay. Alright, so I'm just gonna try and carry momentum here off this rail and jump off and skip having to swap the rails section there. Yeah, I'm gonna try and go for a swag strat here to kind of make up for the fact that I didn't get bot boost. That there saves no time at all if you are to get a kick over the air there. For some reason, Knuckles wouldn't start a fire dunk there. A little silly. Alright, so right there, if you go with Knuckles, you can just kind of clip through the door from being shot from the cannon there. So, an important thing about Bullet Station is the stage runs on cycles. Cannon fires basically every 3 seconds, so you kind of want to be on a good cycle. Otherwise, you're just going to be waiting each time you're getting fired out. Alright. I'm just gonna hop off here with Tails and just kind of gently float down.
Let's go.
Got it.
If I had angled that properly, I wouldn't have to start a flight there, but hey, whatever. Alright, this section likes to kill me a lot. Basically, when you are taken to this section here, the floors in this area aren't too kind. It likes to eject you downward if you try to do a kick or any sort of weird movement. Just gonna hop off here into this trolley. Tails. So this is the hardest trolley section in the game by far because the camera likes to be a little wonky if you're going at full speed. And the lasers kind of come at you pretty fast, so... Alright, so we're coming up to the end of the stage. This would be about where we would have landed for the bot boost if I had gotten it, but too bad. So I'm going to go for a little weird trick here. I'm going to try and go back for that. Kind of want to show this off. If the game would let me. There we go. So, just a weird property. If you swap the rails to a rail right there, you just kind of get ejected upwards. You just kind of skip the door. It's not particularly faster, but it's safer than going for a door club. So if I were running on the Xbox version of this game, this cannon would take me all the way to the goal ring, but on Xbox, and I want to say PlayStation 2, I could be wrong on that, but it takes you part way there, so...
Too easy.
Alright. So now we got the return of Egghawk, except this time he's a blimp. Okay. Big ol' fat blimp in the way here. So we're just gonna try and kind of do what we did with Egghawk, except we're just gonna try and use Knuckles to kind of clip through and just do a series of punches.
There's only one way to go. Ready?
So if you start doing punches and if you don't hold the control stick, just do a whole flurry of punches essentially, like that. You just kind of combo a lot of things. I'm not exactly getting a good fight here. Alright. I really didn't want him to get into the rail section there. But yeah, just do a fire dunk there and it just kills the last form, which is, you know, just plain old Egghawk. Alright. So now we're going on to Frog Forest. This one has a really huge bot boost. I find it to be a bit easier than a lot of the other ones, though it's still a little bit of a weird setup. And hopefully I'll get this trick at the end of the stage. Hopefully. But no guarantees. I'm not super consistent with it.
No way off the hook this time.
So Frog Forest's main gimmick is you got frogs and they'll summon rain if they notice you. But we're not going to really worry about that in this stage. So right here, we're going to sub with this robot. I have a specific sub there, and it looks like this is good. Yep. Okay. So this basically skips a really large section of the stage, and yeah, okay. I wanted to make sure I was lined up there. I have a pretty specific visual cue there to gauge where I am, but yeah. That is basically Frog Force in a nutshell, and ow, I was hoping I would get it, but oh well. Basically, I would have been able to get a really crazy glide using the speed shoes, which, funny enough, don't give you that much speed on the ground, but gives you pretty crazy amount of speed in the air. And I would have just been able to kind of glide to the goal ring there. I'm not going to spoil what it's actually called, though, because that just ruins the fun. Because that's a very specific name. Other than it just being a really fast and cool glide. Shouts to Shadow Jackie. Remember, everyone, stay hydrated.
You sure it's safe around here?
Alright, so Lost Jungle. Not a crazy whole lot going on here. A lot of simple skips right there. You don't have to go around that whole little... I don't know, that's just a weird tower there. I'm sorry, game. That happens sometimes where Sonic will just completely miss the springs. I just don't know what happens there, to be very honest. Just Sonic Hero things that will happen. It's just not a Sonic Heroes run without stuff like that happening.
We're not going there, are we?
Yes, we are. Let's go.
Man.
Here we go.
Oh, whoa, okay. That's weird. Usually, I've never had it where the homing attack never connected with the spring. That's very odd. Okay. Back to more funny Sonic Hero moments.
Leave it to me. Hey, there's that black frog again. Leave it to me. Let's go. Here we go.
We're not going there, are we?
Yes,
I did not want to start a fight there. That would have been
Let's go.
muy malo.
Let's go. Here we go.
There we go. That was really weird. I honestly thought I was close enough there. So in this stage, I kind of want to make sure I have a level 2 Knuckles.
Leave it to me.
It's pretty easy. You just gotta pick up 2 checkpoints, which aren't out of the way.
That black frog again. Leave it to me.
I'm gonna carry my momentum here and just kind of fly over here. I can do a kick there, but there is a piece of collision there that likes to really screw with you.
Level up.
Here we go. Look at all those eggs.
So just gonna use combo attack there to kill off those egg hammers.
Close.
Easy
That
peasy.
was one heck of a battle. No problem. Piece of cake.
Alright. We're going to be coming up on another laser clip, kind of like what we did in Casino Park, except it requires a bit of a different setup. Basically, all the lasers can be clipped through. Horizontal lasers are much easier to clip through. However, lasers that are placed vertically are a lot harder to break through. And for some reason, I thought I did get first try with Tails, but that's fine. Going for the backup strat there, using Knuckles. So we're kind of coming up to the end of the stage here, which is kind of an infamous section in Sonic Heroes. That's the crocodile section. Or is it alligator? Chat, decide, is it a crocodile or an alligator? So right here, most people like to jump from these vines in a specific rhythm, and the game kind of leads you to doing that, but there are a few vines that are just off-sync from a beat, so you just kind of have to press A at the height of the vine. So yeah, a lot of casual players tend to die at this section.
That was one heck of a battle. All right.
It's indeed Victor's cousin from Florida.
Perfect.
We should get Lemurus to say hi to them. Alright, so coming up on another team battle, this time with Team Dark. This one's a bit trickier, but honestly I tend to have less issues with Team Dark than I do Team Rose, so hopefully. Yesterday, Team Dark tended to give me a little bit of trouble in practice.
I'm gonna there.
Not the best way to greet those you haven't seen in a while.
Okay. Usually when Shadow will tend to give a lot of trouble. And now we gotta deal with Omega. But if teams tend to have rings, they become really difficult to deal with.
Something wrong with Shadow. Got it. Take this. Take this.
So now I am stuck. Oh boy, that's no good. Okay, so I'm just gonna have to restart that fight.
Like my twin.
Okay, because I had to do the restart, cycle's a little messed up. Yeah, great.
What was with that hedgehog that looked like
This is not good at all. Okay, yeah, that happens sometimes. Wow, Knuckles.
What was with that hedgehog that looked like my twin?
Knuckles could not do a fire dunk to save his life.
Not the best way to greet those you haven't seen in a while. They were on this guy. And how do they know me?
Shadow just really likes trolling me today, it seems like. There we go.
All right.
Usually I haven't had that much trouble with Dark in quite a while.
If only we had more time.
Okay. That's fine. It's a marathon run. These things happen. And when it's Sonic Heroes marathon things happen. That didn't really make much sense, but it's Sonic Heroes. Nothing in this game makes sense anyways, so yeah.
Sonic, you sure this is the right way?
Usually I would go for a tornado spam, but sometimes it just doesn't work for me.
But it's so spooky here.
Maybe that's the ghost of Shadow we saw earlier.
Woo! Stop it,
Alright, so we got another stage with another bot boost. This one is probably the easiest bot boost out of all of them. Just super free to deal with. Now that I said that, I'm probably going to screw it up somehow.
What? What's going on?
Upside down.
Here we go.
Alright, so this stage has a lot to do with castle flipping, but
Normal now.
castle doesn't really flip, it just takes you to a different part of the stage.
Here we go. Level up. Here we go.
Alright, So normally you're supposed to go down, drop into this hole, and you gotta go flip the castle, all that crap. No, we're not gonna do that. We're just gonna door clip. And I'm not doing well with this door clip. There we go. I'm gonna try and set it up like this. Alright. I can still probably get this if I manipulate my flight. Nope. Okay. I'm just gonna take the gong here. If I'd gotten a little bit more speed, I would have been able to just easily clear that and get over that hump there, but... Okay, so now we're just gonna drop down instead of taking that path. It's a little bit faster. Just hit the switch here and flip the castle. Or flip the castle, at the air quotes. And we're going to be dropping down to the bot boost.
There's that switch again.
Just going to use this robot here. Set up, line up, and we're pretty much at the end of the stage now. And now we got this section, which is a little wonky, to say the least. Even if you're holding forward, you might get ejected, like right there. And yeah, that's the end of Hang Castle there. Alright, now we're moving on to Mr. Mansion. This used to be probably one of the more difficult stages for me personally, but it's gotten a lot easier thanks to a skip at the end of the stage, which does cut out a pretty interesting set of strats, which are used in this in our alternative category called limited text selection, where we just basically cut out bot boosts and some other major skips. But yeah, we're gonna try and do a skip at the end here, but that's a little ways away.
There they are.
Just gonna kill off a lot of the robots. Now you can clip through doors in this stage, but usually it's not exactly optimal except for one door, but I still don't like going for that one. Because doors tend to be a little weird in this stage, because you have to aim yourself into a corner of the doors. And also, that wall does not exist on the GameCube version. It also doesn't exist on the Xbox version sometimes. But yeah, if you're playing on the Xbox 360 version, or playing the Xbox version on the 360, that wall is definitely there. I can't remember if it's on there in PlayStation 2 version. I'm actually fairly certain it's not, but I don't know who plays the PlayStation 2 version anyways. And yeah, we can just kind of fly over to that little section. It's really easy. Longest time we used to just set up kind of a... Oh, what am I doing? I am like zoning out right now. I have to hit the switch first. I'm like, I have to do something here, right? Alright, so normally that's where you try and do door clip, but I just like going for the switch. It's consistent. Alright, so here is the first instance of using Team Blast in the stage. So Team Blast gives you a property of basically the light speed attack, which if you were to charge up a Rocket Excel, you just... I actually can't remember what you do if you get a Rocket Excel, but if you use Thundershoot, you can just kind of Thundershoot and just instantly kill all enemies. That's what you normally use. We'll also see that in the next boss with Robot Storm. But it's pretty effective in killing robots, especially the large and And Amrek just kind of died on me. Give me 1 second.
There's another trolley. Let's catch it.
This happens a lot. My capture card just, it really does not like Amrek sometimes. Also try and do a combo right there. I didn't start my combo late enough to kill off all those robots in one go, but hey, whatever. Alright, so coming up to the final section of the game, which normally kind of splits into 3 paths. And also right here, skip having to open up a part of the light rings there. You're normally supposed to hit switches and open up part of the light speed, but I can't speak today, but okay. There was a lot going on there, but I basically jumped over the gorge, and there was just part of a trail of rings I can just light speed over. And what happened there is I basically used the robot to clip through the cage and get to the end of the stage. That's what I needed to say. Good grief, I cannot speak. But yeah, that skips a good portion of the ending section there with Mystic Mansion. Now there's a bit of a quicker cage clip, but I am not consistent with it yet, so I just decided to go with one I'm familiar with.
Trying to stop us now.
Didn't get the cutscene glitch like I did in Robot Carnival, but hey, at least I got it once. Alright, so like Robot Carnival, rounds are the same every single time, except with character level ups. And thankfully I got level 2 Knuckles right at the start, which is really good.
Too cool.
Gates open when we destroy the robots. Use the item inside.
Alright, so we're going to be using Team Blast here, and I'm going to use the light speed attack for this next phase here. Because there are some enemies with shields that are kind of annoying to get off, and that aren't easy to kill off with Knuckles, especially because the... Ow, that's annoying. Because the finisher combo won't instantly degrade the shield, so it's just faster to use the light speed attack there. So, fun fact, you can actually clip into some of these cages and get to other parts of the stage. However, you still have to beat the previous set of robots in order for the boss to proceed, so kind of unfortunate you have to deal with that, but hey, it's whatever. You still get to get some scrap metal out of these fights. Not that it's useful, but hey, it's fun to pummel once innocent robots that Eggman is sent out to die.
Not bad.
Alright, I need to be a little careful here. Those robots like to shoot me down. Kinda like that.
Got it. What's the matter? Got nothing left?
Oh yeah, coming up on the last few sets of robots here. Not a whole lot going on here. Just need to wait for these last 2 robots, which Knuckles' combo can't exactly get that last robot that's sitting on top of the cage, so I just usually thunder shoot it. You can get it to work, but it's a bit finicky. So one more Team Blast for the road, because the robot that just dropped down was the helmeted egg hammer robot, which you have to knock down first before you can even cause damage. So the only way you can instantly kill it is by using a Team Blast.
Not a very bright move for a genius.
Alright. So now we're coming on to Egg Fleet. This is probably, this used to be the hardest bot boost, then Bullet Station happened. So now we still got this run killer. But I'm going to definitely go for this one, even though if I mess it up, I lose close to 30-40 seconds if I lose it, because I'd have to go back pretty far because of where a checkpoint is. Because these checkpoints, the checkpoint placement in the stage isn't exactly great. There's several other stages in this game that just are not, that just do not have well-placed checkpoints, at least in my opinion. So, alright, so right here I'm gonna try and skip having this door close, and I didn't. It's fine. I just need to kill one robot. Alright. And I try to do a blue tornado out to the left there because it gets me closer to the center of the pole. And right here I'm going to hop in cannon with tails, so it takes me up to this path. I'm going to try hop up here. Just a lot of kind of crazy, not crazy, but interesting movement here. So right here, I really love this strat. You just kind of wall run on the edge of the ship here. Just kind of skip that door. And now we got an auto-scroller. Just gotta hold down, hold up whenever these enemies or cannons try to come at me. Move down.
Yes.
Go up.
Yes. Yes.
Alright, so this is basically,
Ready to land on the battle.
well, not exactly the halfway point at this stage yet, but we'll be seeing it very shortly. So this will be the last checkpoint we pick up before we go for the bot boost, which is right after this. Well, not even right after this battleship. So right here, I'm just gonna do a blue tornado. It's just gonna target that cannon there. Normally I can just bounce off that cannon, but I can also just bounce off that E3000. I think it's an E3000. I think that's what they call it. I also can't remember. It just looks like a... I did not want to swap the tails there.
Here we go.
I really wanted to do a glide with Knuckles into that, but okay, whatever.
One down. Here we go. Way to go, guys. All right. Yahoo! Got it.
Leave it to me.
Alright. Okay, I didn't have enough height there. I could have just completely cleared this, but I can just hop on this fence and just kind of jump up here. Just gonna glide up, kind of clip around that fan, and we're gonna set up right here for the spot boost. Again, if I mess this up, it's gonna take me quite a ways back.
Leave it to me. Let's go.
Let's try
Let's go.
again.
Let's go. Let's go. Chase. Chase.
I think that's good. Nah, came up quite a bit short. Okay. I'm just gonna have to go through the stage normally. Just to not risk it again. But yeah, I would have landed partway through that auto-scroller, which has a platform where you can start up the auto-scroller again. Or at least start it up partway. But yeah, that's a pretty difficult bot boost to deal with. Try it again. It's just kind of an annoying bot boost to deal with because it's right at the end of the run, and I would say it's like random if you get it, but it's it's not. It's just stupidly precise.
Here we go. One down.
All right.
Way to go, guys. Not bad. Yahoo! Got it.
Leave it to me.
So the bot boost probably would have skipped at least a good half of the auto scroller, but I'm just gonna have to just take the auto scroller as is. So this is basically the path we would take for the limited text selection category for egg fleets. So. Just gonna take this rail here. It's definitely the fastest way to get around here. Take the rainbow rings. And if I hadn't died, I would have just homing attacked that propeller there instead of having to do a blue tornado, but since I died, I didn't have another level up to work with.
Here it comes. Move down.
So this is where we would have normally landed, like right there. And there's just another propeller to just deal with. Just get to the end of the stage right there. So this battleship is almost a... It's going to be almost exactly like the last battleship. You know, use another homing attack to... not homing attack, blue tornado to get to the cannon. Just like that. And we're gonna bounce up, just like before. And that's pretty much egg fleet. Oh, there is that can happen. You can just clip through the floor there sometimes.
Yes.
Which, thankfully, it didn't happen. Alright, on to the last stage, which is Final Fortress.
That was tight.
This is honestly it's pretty easy compared to Egg Fleet. There is a bot boost at the end, but it's not very difficult at all. I just need to rely on the robots to cooperate.
How does this thing stay afloat?
Alright,
Doesn't
I'm gonna
matter.
glide over
Let's
here.
break it down.
Light dash.
Leave it to me.
I'm just gonna get up here and do another Rocket Excel over the gorge.
Level up.
I'd like to make sure I could get that checkpoint. I don't know why, but... Alright, I'm gonna drop down here.
Got it.
There's just not a whole lot to talk about with this stage. It's mostly just
Got it.
Leave it to me.
kind of propel your momentum to skip little sections like this. Skip that cage, all that. And then get up to the certain rail sections.
Got it.
Leave it to me. Let's go.
Here we go. Got it.
Leave it to me.
Just gonna kind of drop down here. It's a little risky. That was a bit of an odd position there, but
Got it.
it seems a little bit of a scary drop down, but it's not really.
Let's go.
I'm just gonna start up a flight here, and that skips that whole little section there. Hopefully I can combo this robot here, and I can. If you kind of time your fire dunks properly there, you can just continuously smash that robot's face. And also, that's going to be the last checkpoint we pick up in this stage, which is honestly the worst one in the game, because if you mess up something, you go all the way back.
Got it.
Yellow laser fire. Leave it to me.
Alright,
Let's go.
Here we go. Got it.
getting kind of close to the end of the stage. but still got a few things here. Now here I could go for glide, but I am not consistent at it. And yep. Okay, I'm just gonna try and go for slightly slower strats.
Got it.
I'm just gonna hop off with Tails, and Tails didn't come back to me fast enough. That's kind of my fault there.
Got it.
Leave it to me.
Normally you can just kind of, if you have enough speed there and try to get a glide, you can kind of get over to the end of that section there.
Your attack is mine. Keep your guard.
Okay, now we're gonna drop down here, and instead of climbing the scaffolding here, we're just gonna try to drop down here where these robots are hanging out, and we're gonna do the final block boost of the run. Now here, oh, okay, not the best position, but at least I can rely on granny strats, so I can make sure I have my flight.
It's the blue laser.
Alright, and probably the scariest rail section in the game. Okay, we're in there. Alright, sometimes those rails are just absolutely brutal, and you can just kind of go you can go flying off, and you cannot recover from it. And that's part of the reason why having that checkpoint all the way back there is just terrible, and nothing in between. Alright, so now we're coming up on final boss.
I didn't use all my strength.
I'll let you know when the timer needs to stop. It's going to be once the timer stops for the boss here. So, Egg Emperor is usually like supposed to be a pretty difficult boss, kind of. And it's usually very, very slow. We're going to try and beat him in under 20 seconds. Now that I say it, I'm not going to get it, obviously. Knowing my track record today.
This looks like checkmate, Doctor.
But right here, we're going to try and get a level 2 Tails. And we're going to try and thunder shoot his core while he's moving backwards. It's basically going to... Our characters are going to latch onto him. So if I manipulate Sonic's position... Ah! That could have been a one cycle. Okay. So Sonic and Knuckles kept... Oh, time, by the way. But basically Knuckles is kind of latched on to Egg Emperor's core there as he's backing up. So it's just continuously stacking up damage on him, so... But yeah, that's Team Sonic. Yeah, not a great run by any standard, but I'm glad to at least showcase this run again in a marathon. But yeah, I want to thank you all for watching. I think coming up next we have Pokemon Let's Go. So yeah.
Not really. Come on.
Thank you guys for having me, and
if it wasn't for us, you wouldn't have
see
a
you
chance.
around.
Well, maybe you're right. Thanks, Knuckles. You too, Tails.
Alright, and thanks to Allegro for the run. Thanks for doing it for us. Stream is going to go down momentarily as we're switching restreamers. But don't worry about it, we'll be right back.